What is happening, people? My name is Robbie, and today we're reacting to another CNBC Make It video on YouTube. So someone sent me this video and told me I should have a look at it, presumably because I spend at least 12 hours a day on TikTok every single day. And the video was titled, Making $1,000 per minute on TikTok. So I don't know if this is just clickbait or if this is going to be a true story. I highly doubt it's going to be a true story. Maybe it's referring to how much money the person makes per view and how long the TikTok is, if you know what I mean. Even so, that doesn't make any sense for $1,000 per minute. It definitely doesn't make sense actually, because that's 1.4 million per day. But before we get started, you know the drill. The target's been dropped, but it's still 200 subscribers by the end of March, and we have 3 days. So any help towards that target would be massively appreciated. But to be completely honest, I'm actually pretty happy with the growth of the channel so far. But hitting the 200 subscribers by the end of the month, that would be a nice bonus. So be sure to like the video and subscribe, and let's get started with this video.
We went on the Lights Out tour. We were all making the craziest amount of money we'd ever seen in our lives. We would go live on TikTok for 5 minutes and make $3,000. We were making almost $1,000 a minute on live stream. It was the craziest thing I'd ever seen.
Right, okay. So the actual 1,000 per minute is referring to how much revenue they were generating through live streaming on TikTok, which I didn't know you could make money from that. I didn't know there was real money to be made from that anyway. This is Josh Richards, and according to the description, he's 19 years old and he rose to fame on the apps Musical.ly and TikTok. I've actually seen clips of him with in his podcast, I think it's called BFFs, with Dave Portnoy of Barstool Sport. And I think I speak for everyone when I say that I was actually surprised by how cool he actually seemed in the podcast, considering he seemed to have made his initial money from lip syncing music and taking his t-shirt off, or whatever these young TikTokers do. Oh my god, I'm a pensioner. Whatever these young TikTokers do. 27 is hitting me hard.
Hi, I'm Josh Richards. I'm 19 years old and I am an entrepreneur and social media influencer. When I first started my social media, I instantly set the goal to hit 10,000 followers by the end of the summer. And
so straight off the bat, I would guess he's about 15 in this clip. So he started very early, which is always a good thing, I suppose. But I'm glad that TikTok wasn't around when I was 15, because I'd be very embarrassed by the clips circulating of me when I was 15. Let's just leave it at that.
And I would study the For You page and watch videos for hours, just trying to figure out the difference between a viral video and an average video.
16, so I was close. Again, 16, still embarrassing.
First found out about doing these tutorial type videos because it would cause the person to save the video because they want to watch it later, learn how to do that tutorial, and then also they would comment for either clarification, a part 2, or the next tip they wanted to learn. I was able to post my first tutorial video, which received 70 million views.
Alright. What type of chips do you like? I like Takis.
He accumulated his first 100,000 followers by shifting his focus to live streaming. Okay, well, I've got 5,000 followers on TikTok, and if live streaming gets me to 100,000, I'll do it. I don't have enough things to say for a live stream, but I'll do it. For 100,000 followers, I'll do it.
I believe right now across all platforms, I have just over 35 million followers.
Shout out maturing and growing up.
I haven't been there yet, and
I'm trying to learn.
I was monetizing my account from the very beginning. The reason why I was so focused on the live stream was the fact that that's where you monetized on Musical.ly. Your fans would come in and they would actually donate to the live by a gifting system. I would go live from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. every single night. That was my schedule. No matter what,
crazy.
I'm live for 4 hours straight. And at the start, I was making like $100, $200 a night. There were a lot of nights where I wasn't going to party, or there was a hockey game that everyone was going to watch and I couldn't go attend it just because I knew I had something bigger in my journey, right?
So that's a good point that he makes. Even though he was 16 and he was just going live on TikTok or Musical.ly at the time, he realised that there was potential for something bigger. I suppose it's like anything, you've got to convince yourself first and foremost that these things are worth doing. I mean, even right now it's a Sunday night and me and my girlfriend, we're going to watch a movie tonight, but here I am filming a YouTube video because hopefully this will be worthwhile long term. So at this point I'm taking career advice from a 16-year-old at the time. Hopefully it works.
That's just what I stayed focusing on. I would say I was 16, 17. I was at my bank and I was taking out cash, and I had about $16,000 Canadian in my bank account. Like that's what I was worth. I remember taking out the cash and having the receipt, and my friend looking over at the receipt or like grabbing it from me, just kind of joking around with me to see how much money I had. And they were absolutely mind blown. To me, it almost had just become another analytical thing, like my follower growth, where I was just like, I wanted to go up and up, and I didn't even take a second to step back and like see how much money I actually had made or how well I was doing.
I think that's a common thing as well, is the almost obsession with the analytics and the numbers. I've heard it on a lot of podcasts and seen it in a lot of channels, and I experienced it myself. It becomes addictive. You get a new follower, you get a new subscriber, you get more views on this video than the last. It does become addictive. And the same thing happens with your bank account or your investment account or any other accounts like that. It's almost like a game. And for example, if you are in debt, then level 1 you want to get to 0, you want to get rid of the debt. Level 2 you want to get to £1,000 in the bank, for example. The levels never stop, and it becomes very addictive in followers, video views, money. Very addictive.
I'm young, right? I'm dumb. I've made mistakes. I've caught myself spending more money than I should have. And we were going to these like Burberry or Louis Vuitton, Gucci, and we were buying these clothes and these shoes. And there was just one day I remember putting on a Louis Vuitton sweater and looking at myself in the mirror. And I just kind of was like, you look like such a douche, Josh. You look like an absolute fool. Like, this isn't even you.
It's quite good that he came to that conclusion at like 18, 19 years old, because it's very easy to fall into the trap of exclusively buying expensive clothes or expensive things because you've got the money to do it. They call that lifestyle inflation. So as your money starts to increase, so does your lifestyle. And realistically, if you were managing to survive on £300 a week, for example, just because you've went up to £400 a week doesn't mean you need to spend that extra 100. And that happens for everyone. One day you could be making 10 grand a week. You really shouldn't be spending the whole 10 grand on Gucci trainers or Louis Vuitton jumpers and things like that. But that's easier said than done.
One thing that we get taught is save your money, right? Don't spend it, keep it in your bank account. But that isn't actually the best thing you can do. Of course it's better than going out and buying Louis Vuitton and cars and etc. But like, put it into an account giving you some percent back.
Start of the montage. No, it's gonna look cool though. Don't worry, he doesn't have audio on this part.
I'm Chief Strategy Officer over at Triller. Acquired part of Ellen's Unhide company. Own a dog food company with Snoop Dogg called Dog for Dog. Invested in Breaker, have invested in now over 18 companies, and working on a podcast with Barstool.
So there's a podcast I was talking about before with Barstool Sports, and that's Dave Portnoy. Very entertaining podcast. I'm really surprised and impressed at how many companies he's invested in. At 19 years old, and he's invested in 18 companies so far. If a handful of those do well, and he keeps compounding that and investing in more companies, this guy's going to be a billionaire, which I know is a bold statement, but the guy's 19 years old, and he's already this far in.
Called BFFs, and just to continue growing on all my social media platforms as well.
How do they know me? I'm just a cowboy.
The biggest worry for a social media creator is, how long is my career gonna last? Or how do I make sure I extend this for another month, another year, another 4 years, 5 years? How can we create longevity in not just in content or not just in entertainment, but in the entrepreneurial space as well? I mean, when we see we're creating these trends like shotgunning energy drinks from doing it in our YouTube videos, why would we continuously give that free brand space or ad space to Red Bull when Bryce and I can go and found an energy drink company like we did with Annie Energy? Just keeping ourselves in the media, in your face is how you're gonna stay relevant.
Very smart guy. It sounds really judgmental of me, but I'm very impressed at how mature and educated he seems to be on what he's doing with his brand and what he's doing with his investments. When I was 19 years old, I'm pretty sure I was still borrowing money from my mum to go to the pub and then paying her it back at the end of the month on payday. So the fact that he's already at this point in his life at 19 years old is very impressive, and I actually wish they made this video slightly longer. I'd like to hear more about his investments. if he was making $1,000 a minute going live on TikTok, I think he's probably got a decent sized portfolio at 19. But I didn't make the video, CNBC made the video. They made it 5 minutes long, so that's all we're getting. So in turn, this video is going to be short and sweet as well. But one thing I did take from that video, I'm going to commit to it here and say that I'm going to start going live on TikTok. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. I've got no idea, but it seems like a good idea. I've heard it's a good idea. What do you talk about when you go live on TikTok? I have no clue. I will 100% be sat on my couch with my girlfriend at the other side of the living room laughing at me while I awkwardly talk to people, and we'll probably have 3 or 4 viewers, none of which will ask any questions, which means I will have nothing to talk about. But I'm committing now on this video that I'm going to do it soon. I'm not committing to a timescale on when I'm going to do it, but it's going to be soon. And if you happen to be curious about my TikTok, I'll put a link to that in the description. Like I said, I've got about 5,000 followers on there, but I really prefer YouTube over TikTok in terms of creating the content in the long videos. But now I've made the commitment that I'll be doing lives, I'm going to have to do it. So there'll be a link in the description in case you want to look at me fall flat on my face live on TikTok. So with that, I'm going to call it a day on this video. Like I said in the beginning, it would be great if you could like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'll make sure I've got a video every single week, and I'll maybe sprinkle in some of this reaction content as well if it's what people want to see. It's pretty fun doing the reaction videos, so if people want to see them, I'm happy to do them. So the link is in the bio for the TikTok, and I'll either see you on Friday for the new video, or I'll see you on TikTok live at some point this week, and you can all laugh at me. Take it easy.